rather heavily locked down by bike sniper and MG42. Again, no actual offensive capabilities, but now with the mortar on the field, he might be able to break through.
Losing a victory point. We are losing a victory.
Now we hear the thump of the mortar dropping smoke. Interesting. Certainly not a bad move to sort of prepare for an assault. And we are seeing some veterans up for the support teams, also provide healing, and a strafing run, only causing a few kills. No teams lost. Sniper counter-snipe, but he survived. And yeah, white strafe in smoke, that's a bit cursed, but there you go. Grenadiers and Volksgrenadiers holding the line, but of course finally he has been able to break through, although a regular mortar barrage here would have been just as effective, if not more, might have in fact been able to kill that sniper. And we do see some propaganda war being dropped down, of course signaling that he has gone for terror, which will certainly increase some of his capabilities. Pioneers are taking this victory point, which is currently meaning that Mr. Gaurav is not with any victory points. And we are seeing BARs being equipped for the American infantry. Mortar hitting a mine. Again, good mine usage by Hauptmann Husky, who's really holding the line. Plenty of infantry, a few Volksgrenadiers and some Grenadiers. MG42s as well, all for the fun. Mortar being used to take this point. Perhaps not a bad idea, but again, should be ready for any German attacks, and of course bombarding those MG42s and snipers. BARs on the way. Now I have some AT. Could this be a bluff, because I'm not really seeing any anti-tank assets? Oh well. Riflemen moving in from the north. And BARs blasting away, really catching this MG42 out in the open, putting on a lot of pressure. In fact, looks like this MG42 has been caught on a bad spot. Yes, there we go. Leaving only Grenadiers and a sniper to hold the line. This could certainly be a small breakthrough for the American forces now with an MG42 in American hands. Grenadiers taking quite a bit of fire, even with the 21. Grenade being dropped right in the middle of everything. Quite horrific. But now we are seeing a Puma out, Sonderkraftfahrzeug, schwere Panzerspähwagen, and no, nothing to actually deal with it though. Sticky bombs though on the way, but that's not going to be of much help, since the Puma can in fact just blast away from a distance.
Composition B is in. Troops can now make losing ground out.
Some actual anti-tank assets would have been nice, perhaps some airborne with recoilless rifles. And riflemen moving in, perhaps hoping to drop some sticky bombs, but instead are getting cut down by the vicious auto cannon of the Puma. This is not looking good. We are seeing the, of course, heavy machine gun, but since it's actually an MG42 and not the 30 caliber Browning, it does not have armor piercing rounds, and so will not be able to penetrate the thick hide of the Puma.
Losing ground out there.
Not looking good at all, and now we are seeing a German mortar joining in the fun as well. Oh my goodness, this is really clumped up position. American mortar though countering. Who shall win this? Apparently the German mortar looks to be the one to win. Puma taking quite a bit of fire, and there we go. American mortar cleared out. German mortar though looking awfully almost dead, and could in fact find itself cleared out. American troops getting close. Will they drop the sticky bombs? Apparently not. That could have been of great help, getting 2 sticky bombs off on the Puma, but for some reason Gaurav just failed to do that. There we go, finally 1 sticky bomb, but it is too late. The Puma is beyond range. My goodness, this is not the most fortunate of luck. And sniper getting caught out in the open. German mortar though cleared out, so that is a small blessing. Supply yard going up, and we do see a second strafing run ready, but the stranglehold of the Germans have been slightly broken, so there might still be some hope for a good American commander of the 4th Infantry Division. Question is, of course, will he be able to pull it off, or will he fail? Apparently an attempt to go for the weapon, the motor pool, was stopped, but airborne infantry is almost ready, some recoilless rifles, and he might have a chance against those Pumas. Albeit light, and there we go, he has the manpower. Now he just needs to call it in. Kindly? Would you kindly? If someone gets that reference. Volksgrenadiers taking sniper fire. German MG42 catching these riflemen out in the open again. Why does he continue out across the open terrain? I'm not entirely sure. And again, that mortar could have been of help if recaptured. And we are seeing the German sniper continuing his reign of terror. Sniper König with 22 kills. And it is in fact, have a look at the Wehrmacht commanders dropping in some airborne. Finally, we might be seeing some recoilless rifles then, which would be of great help. And we are, of course, also seeing a Stoic 4. Mind you, I do believe the 331st actually had some Stoics equipped, but that was not actually meant as a Stoic Abteilung. It was actually for their Panzerjäger Abteilung, as in some cases, when other materials could not be given, they were given other materials. Of course, in some cases, Stoics were used. In fact, Stoics were used as replacements for a lot of things. In fact, some battalions and companies that were supposed to have tanks were instead, for example, given Stoics. So the Stoic was sort of a ultimate replacement. Mind you, they were Stoic 3s and not the Stoic 4. Just in case someone decides to have a bit of fun pointing out that, I am aware. And I suspect the main reason that the Stoic 4 was used and not the Stoic 3 is, in fact, of course, they were based on the chassis of the Panzer 4. Which of course is slightly easier for Relic to then of course just use that. So it makes sense in that way. And of course the Stoic 4 was used by some of the major players like the 17th SS, which certainly fought against the Americans. And American sniper continuing his job, gaining a few kills, riflemen taking on Volksgrenadiers here. Volksgrenadiers rather down in men though, one more down. And one thing that might also have been a help to the American player, what have been as medic station would really have helped. For example here, since considering that most of the fighting has been right near space, would have been of great help. And we are seeing some recoilless rifles, but airborne are deeply depleted. No further veterancy being upgraded though. But there we go, veterancy 2 for the armor, and I do believe, vehicles, and I do believe veterancy 2 for vehicles in fact increases the damage also of the Puma, which is in fact also an interesting thing. American sniper awfully close to the Puma, and riflemen are getting torn apart out in the open retreat. My goodness, yes, there we go. Airborne continuing the hunt now for the Stoic with veterancy 1 as well. Again, always a nice upgrade. And my goodness, taking out 2 airborne troopers of the 82nd. This is not looking good. Gaurav is getting absolutely pulverized out in the open. My goodness, my goodness. And now another propaganda war. Saving the
We lost a sniper.
Stoic in the nick of time. My goodness, the excitement. And we are seeing a bit of further fighting in the east. Puma pressing in towards the American base once more, while the American sniper continues his job right out in the open alone. Be careful there, Mr. Sniper, you could hit a mine, but instead he does go for the MG42 team sitting right here very nicely. Stoic and Puma continuing the job. Stoic not pulling back for repairs though. Airborne with the recoilless rifles might be able, yes, there we go, doing quite a bit of damage. Puma getting close again, and American MG42 continuing its fun. Stoic, will it survive, or will the airborne knock it out? Sticky bombs on the Stoic, yes, there we go. No, gets out of there in time. American riflemen continuing, getting quite the drop on these Volksgrenadiers. Sniper though forced to retreat, and Stoic's main gun is out. Grenadiers rushing in to support, but getting suppressed by the MG42, giving the airborne, yes, there we go. Stoic is lost. Quite a loss, but those Pumas are still the main threat. And what is this? Nebelwerfer hitting somewhere. I'm not entirely sure where. There we go, right in the middle of the base. No, it was a Firestorm. My goodness, but looks like Gaurav was able to save most of the infantry though from this terrible fate. Of course, yes, there we go. Firestorm, of course, my silly mistake. But not looking good for Gaurav. Those Pumas have really been able to really spread around his defenses. Veterans one up for those airborne though, increasing the accuracy, making them even more lethal with those recoilless rifles. Sticky bomb perhaps on that Puma. Again, no, gets out of there in time. Airborne continuing though to blast away. Getting a few well-placed shot on this Puma. And one is caught down in the air. Not a fun bit. And looks like the bike went up in smoke. Rifleman getting torn apart out in the open. Will have to retreat. Airborne joining in for the
They're losing territory.
airborne, I suppose. Something. Riflemen moving up out, still heavily wounded, still on medic station. Might have been a nice thing to really decrease the rate of attrition, which has been absolutely extreme for Gaurav. And armored car looking a bit unfortunate there. Recoilless rifles might be hitting. Will they? No. Puma gets out in time, but the airborne still are around. MG42 getting suppressed. One is down. First Grenadiers are in cover behind this building. Pumas are able to get back for repairs, and might see a small lull in the fighting. Hooray!
Of a grateful fatherland and glorious struggle, honor and blood, present this iron cross.
And again, small lull. Pumas doing a bit of harassment right there. Airborne Volksgrenadiers, no, not airborne Volksgrenadiers, just sort of rambling on. I apologize. It can happen at times, sometimes when all of the action happens so much, and then all of a sudden there's nothing going on, and then you sort of, well, what's going on then? So my apologies. And we see an anti-tank gun being dropped in. Not a bad idea. And what is this? Medic bunker probably going up, or repair bunker, certainly going to be a bunker that will be of great help, and a road covering, mine covering this road, in fact several mines, interesting. And now Volksgrenadiers remanning this mortar will be able to increase the pressure on the American commander. American mortar, in fact, still completely beyond their reach. Volksgrenadiers standing out in the open, taking quite a bit of fire from the airborne. And one is down, forcing the rest to retreat. Grenadiers taking a bit of fire here from riflemen and the anti-tank gun. And in fact, let's have a brief pause here. I'm not the halfway through, but let's again do a bit of analysis. What is the situation? Well, Gaurav does hold both victory points. He does hold some of the territory. The situation is a bit low on infantry for the Wehrmacht commander. He does have those Pumas though, but with the airborne and the anti-tank gun, he might have a chance at turning things around. But what does he need to actually change this around? And what does, for example, Hauptmann Husky need to continue to win? Well, he just basically needs to continue the fight. A repair station would be of great help. Continuing great use of those armored cars, perhaps another Stoic, perhaps a Nebelwerfer, which he is getting, in fact. And basically not throwing his men away too swiftly and basically holding the line, I think, would mostly be it. A bit of harassment here could do the trick, a bit of harassment there. Mostly well done by those Pumas, in fact. For Gaurav, what shall win the fight? Well, a probably delivered blow at one point could probably do it. A well-used strafing run might be the trick. Of course, more anti-tank assets will be needed. For example, another airborne team with recoilless rifles might be it. Or a Greyhound armored car or a T-17 could also be the thing he needs. But he needs something that can really put the challenge to those Pumas, as they are certainly the backbone of Husky's strategy. They are veterancy free. Most of the resources have in fact been used to keep those two armored cars really going for most of the fight, and if they are lost, that's certainly going to be a huge blow and leave his infantry a lot more exposed. Getting that mortar up and running again might also be a good move, and a medic station again to really stop some of all that atrocious attrition he has been suffering. And back to the regularly scheduled fight between the American forces and the Wehrmacht. Fighting continuing down here. Still riflemen not looking good. Might also consider again getting some pineapple grenades and dropping them into those clusters of German infantry. Would really also do a nice trick. And engineers moving in with flamethrowers, hoping to get the drop here. Scorching some mortar team, but forced to retreat right through a mine, but they do survive.